Hey, everybody. Happy Thanksgiving and welcome on into STL Sports Central presented by DraftKings. The crown is yours. You're watching Domesticated Gamblers, your home for St. Louis sports gambling talk. My name is Eric Sontag. There is Tito Ulrich and Mr. Sharp, Shawn Surwillo. The boys are all here tonight on this Skanksgiving edition of the show. So happy Skanksgiving to you and all if you celebrate. We are with you guys every Wednesday night talking sports betting and covering our hometown teams from a gambling perspective. And we have almost made it, guys. Sports betting is going live here in Missouri this Monday. So hit the like button and subscribe to the STL Sports Central YouTube channel if you haven't already. And get involved in the live chat. I'm happy to read your thoughts on anything you want to talk about and get your opinions on these games that we're going to discuss. We'll preview the Blues in Ottawa on Friday after the Blues, another overtime loss tonight against the Devils. Mizzou wrapping up their regular season on Saturday at Arkansas. Also in college hoops, I know it's early, but the Billikens have a massive game tomorrow on Thanksgiving night against Santa Clara. We'll have picks for that one along with Mizzou basketball hosting Cleveland State on Friday. And also going to have our breakdown for every single game on the NFL Week 13 schedule. And it kicks off tomorrow. Just a fantastic trio of games on Thanksgiving. And we are going to close out the show with our best bets. Guys, I picked out one for Monday Night Football for the Giants and the Patriots.
We might be having a little bit of delay here.
All right. All looks good on my end. Mr. Sharp, maybe we'll get his connection.
Skanksgiving going on here. We're having a little bit of delay.
This guy's an absolute fraud.
Is it my connection? Is it Eric's connection?
It is your connection, Mr. Sharp. But easy, let me tell you something. If you want to celebrate Thanksgiving the right way, it's by watching us right now live here on the STL Sports Central YouTube page. I couldn't think of a better way to celebrate Thanksgiving than being with you fools. I'll tell you that right now, Daddy.
I mean, when you're in your 20s, you don't.
Is it better now?
Yeah, you're pretty good.
Are we back now?
I think we're good. Hopefully you can hear me. We're just going to roll it there. We're going to let it be awful. Tito, when we're in our 20s, didn't picture being in our 40s and locked in my basement bunker talking to you two guys on a computer screen. That wasn't in the cards 20 years ago.
No, it was not. But you know what? Like I said, I couldn't think of a better way to celebrate Thanksgiving by looking at you guys through a computer screen. I'll tell you that right now. So let's get into these best bets. Let's get into these sports betting. You know, whatever you want to talk, whatever you want to consider. I know Mr. Sharp was talking about all these bets that he was cashing, talking about sports betting coming legal next week, and following him on the Action Network. Follow you on the Action Network, and tail Tito on all these prop plays that I'm going to be delivering to all you fine gentlemen out there on Thanksgiving, Daddy. Let's go.
Yeah, we'll start plugging that here real shortly. Yeah, go ahead, Shawn.
Hopefully I'm back. Am I good now? We're good? All right, we're good to go. Thanksgiving was a great holiday for Mr. Sharp in his 20s. Boy, oh boy, did we go up to Helen Fitzgerald's, on these Wednesday nights, or Arnold Bowl for the turkey night, the 9-pen Arnold Bowl. A lot of grape bombs and cherry bombs. Many moons ago, Mr. Sharp was a wild man on Thanksgiving, but life's a lot better, and I do agree with Tito. I would have it no other way than looking at you two and cashing some fucking bets, baby. Let's go.
That's right. Cannot wait for Monday to get this thing started. I was starting to say that my best bet's actually going to be from the Monday Night Football game with the Giants and the Patriots. This is going to be the very first NFL game that you can wager on legally here in Missouri. So stick around for that at the end of the show. Tito, I know you hate this holiday too. You hate Thanksgiving food. I know you'd rather be eating frozen pizza tomorrow. So what will you be dining on tomorrow?
Who's to say I'm not going to be eating any frozen pizza? I mean, we're going to be cooking a dang bird all night. My wife's got the oven already preheated. She's got the bird going to be out there in the oven. We're going to have to keep an eye on it all night long. And she had my ass cleaning all day because we got my mother-in-law coming over. We got my mom coming over. We got my sister-in-law coming. We got all these people coming over. Tito just wants to sit on the couch, watch some football, watch the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade with my daughter, and just eat some frozen pizza. So, yeah, not a big old fan of Thanksgiving, not a big old fan of cranberry sauce and ham and pork belly pigs and all this nonsense. What a big wolf of a holiday this is. I'll tell you that right now, Daddy.
Shawn, you're going to be locked in on the Packers tomorrow, right? Noon?
This guy.
Thanksgiving,
This guy, his connection's terrible. He's afraid of Tito. He doesn't know what he's doing. He's too afraid of Tito giving take after take. That's why he's been missing the last several weeks every time Tito comes on, Daddy.
Yeah,
What a big... See, he just left us. What in the world's going on here? What a big woof.
I'm going to bring Mr. Sharp back on once he gets his connection straight away here. But while we're waiting on Mr. Sharp, let's talk about DraftKings. Monday, again, the big day is here. Sports gambling's going live here in Missouri, and you can get all set up for it right now by downloading the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Create an account, take advantage of a great bonus offer. And guys, I'm not just saying this because they're a sponsor. DraftKings truly is my favorite sportsbook app. I think it's the best user experience. It's the easiest one to navigate, and they have more betting options than anyone out there, in my opinion. Also, you get fast payouts when you win, a safe and secure app that's easy to use, and promos that keep the action going all season long. No wonder it's America's top-rated sportsbook app. So the countdown is on to Monday, December 1st, and new DraftKings customers can sign up right now and score $300 in bonus bets on launch day. I just did this last week, so I'm all ready to go. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code STL Sports. New Missouri customers sign up today and score $300 in bonus bets once we're live. That's code STL Sports. The crown is yours in partnership with DraftKings Sportsbook.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 and over. Physically present in Missouri. Eligibility and restrictions apply. Subject to regulatory licensing requirements. Bonus bets are non-withdrawable and expire 7 days after issuance. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see sportsbook.draftkings.com/promos.
All right, we got Mr. Sharp back on the screen.
We're
going to share this. I think we're good.
Now. Yeah.
All right, we're going to get to some comments in the chat here from Magic Plinko 80. Tito is ready for Skanksgiving. 8 hours cooking a bird, making stuffy cranberry sauce. Tito's going to make some green bean casserole. Tito going to be Betty Crocker in that kitchen making that bird. And Tim Yes, just here talking about Gators. Thank you, Tim. Yeah. Tito's that accurate from Magic Plinko.
Oh,
yeah, you know,
Magic
this
Plinko,
internet connection's been a pain in my butt for weeks and weeks and weeks. They're outside digging for the last couple of weeks. But yeah, getting back to Skanksgiving here, Tito. Tito's just un-American. Who doesn't like Thanksgiving? Getting around with family and giving thanks to everything we have here. So Tito, try to just be a little thankful this Thanksgiving.
I'll be thankful whenever you shut your damn trap and you get that damn internet connection right, buddy. I'll tell you that right now. That's what I'll be thankful for. And Magic Plinko, what kind of username is this anyway, Easy? And everyone knows that green bean casserole has got to be the most disgusting dish that has ever been created by mankind. What a big wolf that is. And yeah, I'm not the one making the damn bird either, okay? That's my wife's doing, okay? I do the grunt work. I'm the man that I got the muscles, I got the meat, and all that fun stuff. So that's what I'm going to be doing. So Magic Plinko 80, I don't even know who you are. Why don't you try to come into Tito's kitchen and hold me accountable? Because I'll be holding you accountable all show long, Daddy.
Well, I'm going to be multitasking tomorrow.
Tito hates Thanksgiving, one of the greatest holidays there is.
Oh, Mr. Sharp, this connection. We're going to ride with it. I think everyone's a little tipsy tonight anyway, so let's just have some fun. I'm going to be multitasking tomorrow. We're going to be watching football. We're going to be hanging with the family. We're going to be eating food. Guys, for real, take advantage of these bonus offers. I think you're good now, Shawn. But take advantage of these bonus offers. It's a great way to start yourself off with a nice bankroll. We can help you grow it. I know there's a lot of gambling shows out there. This one has been terrible for the first 7 or 8 minutes so far. But I know there's one thing that does make us different and makes this a really good show for you guys to watch every week. Almost every show out there, they sit there and they make picks, but there's no accountability. Like nothing's tracked. They just make their picks. They show up the next week, make more picks, and you have no idea what their record is. Like Tito's one of those guys. He just gives his takes, but there's no accountability. But Tito, I give you credit. You're upfront about the fact that you're not a gambler. You dabble a little bit here and there, but you're not a gambling, on a regular basis. You're more the Joe Public fan perspective here in the show. But Shawn and I, we take this shit seriously. So, and we want to win for you guys. So every single bet that we make is tracked and transparent. It's free for anyone to see on the Action Network app. I highly recommend you guys, if you're watching, create a free account. You can track your own plays so you know how you're doing. And if you follow me and Shawn, you get a notification instantly anytime we make a bet. I've been tracking there for over a year now. I've made over 1,500 bets, up over 26 units. My username in there is esontag. Shawn likes to track in dollars, and he's making a lot of them. He's been on there since June. He's up over $3,500. All right, so you can follow Shawn with the username Mr. Sharp 4499. So get on that Action Network app. It's not a sponsorship. It just, I think it's going to be super helpful for you guys to manage your bankroll, see how you're doing. I think it also helps hold yourself accountable, putting your picks out there, and you can just become part of a gambling community where we're all in this together trying to beat these books. So Shawn, you got anything to want to add on that with the Action Network?
Yeah. For new gamblers, I wish I would have had Action Network in my 20s. I probably wouldn't have lost so much money back in my 20s. It would have held me a little more accountable. All those drunken nights on Skanksgiving, throwing $100 on a game when I didn't have $100, just getting credit from the bookie. But yeah, use Action Network and hold yourself accountable. And then also, we got this little bit of community going on. I think I'm up to 6 followers now, and I know Eric's got quite a few followers. I love it. I love seeing all the data against the spread, what sport, what my percentage is in each sport. And at the end of the year, you can analyze those numbers and see where you're making money. And then maybe year in and year out, adjust how you're betting as well. So I know for me, I'm up about $5,100 this year overall, right? So December's here. We're going to gamble a little bit here in December. We're going to have some fun on Thanksgiving. And I'm excited. We're going to throw some cash around tomorrow on Turkey Day.
Yeah, I cannot wait for that. Let's start talking these games for Thanksgiving weekend. We're going to talk the local teams first, then we'll get to the NFL. Let's start with the Blues. If you got any thoughts on this team, throw it in the chat.
Bad.
Yes, it is.
It's hanging in there. But yeah, get your thoughts on the Blues in the chat. I'd be happy to read it. Blues losing overtime again tonight, 3-2 at New Jersey. I had to do it. I logged in the Action Network app as soon as the game went to overtime. The Blues have been 0-6 in overtime. The Devils have been 5-1 in OT. And as soon as regulation ended, I fired a live bet on the Devils on the money line at -120. And that comes through. The Blues just cannot win a game in overtime. Now 0-7. They're back in action on Friday afternoon at home against Ottawa. Maybe we'll just look at this black screen for Mr. Sharp and he can just talk to us instead of his fuzzy video. No line for this game yet on Friday against Senators. It's probably going to be close to a pick 'em with a total of 5.5. So, Tito, why don't you get us started? What do you think of the Blues in this game on Friday?
Yeah, if I had to make a pick on this game on Friday, I didn't realize. I thought they were playing in Ottawa. I know Ottawa can kind of I was looking at their stats earlier this afternoon, and I think they're a fairly high scoring team. They're not lining up, but they're kind of middle of the road, a little bit higher, better than average. So if I had to make a pick on this one, I would shoot with the overplay here, especially after a long game tonight in regards to the overtime, and it'll probably be Hofer in that. So the defense is still somewhat struggling in regards to keeping stability back there, especially in overtime. What a big woof that is. I mean, what kind of nonsense are we looking at here where you're 0-7, going into overtime? I guess it's nice to get a point, but my goodness, you keep on not being able to capitalize. And it looks like they're not really being forceful. They're not being, they're waiting for something bad to happen. Tonight, you had a turnover by Robert Thomas falling down, and then, the Devils get the puck and they just take care of business. So, hopefully Hofer can kind of stay on his head. And I like what I see from Logan Mailloux ever since he's came back up. So I like seeing that. I know there's a lot of rumors out there about Binnington being traded, but Rock and Jacob, they talked about it earlier today about Edmonton not really having a whole lot. So we'll see what ends up happening here. But if I had to make a play on the Senators Blues game, I would go with the overplay on this game.
I disagree. I'm on the other side. And the reason I know, if you look at the stats, these teams are towards the bottom in the NHL in goals against per game. So they haven't been good defensively overall. So I get the argument for the over, but most of that was early in the season. Heading into tonight, I know the Senators are playing right now in Vegas, but the Senators have gone 9 straight games allowing 3 goals or fewer, and under 5.5 is hit in 7 of those 9 games. The Blues also, defense hasn't really been the problem this month. It was terrible in October, but we're on a run now. The under 5.5 is cashed in 10 of the Blues' 13 games here in November, and the under's also hitting because they're not scoring enough. This is just crazy that the Blues have scored more than 3 goals just once in their last 16 games. So, like, obviously see what this line comes out as, but like, I mean, this is another thing you could do on DraftKings starting next week. You could bet exact score lines. And right now, like my bet tonight on the game is my lean for stlsportscentral.com. I didn't put in pocket, but my lean was under 5.5, thinking a game would probably be 3-2. And we got a 3-2 game. You could bet an exact score line, and we've had a lot of 3-2 games with the Blues lately. And so, like, I wish DraftKings is live right now here in Missouri because that would have cashed in 4 of the last 5 games. You could get some really great odds on that. So, wouldn't stun me. There's going to be a bust out game at some point. That Flyers game a week or two ago was 6-5. All the data said under, but it just obviously was a crazy game. So we're due for one of those. Maybe it gets a little loose with the holidays, but my lean for that game would be the under.
When
All
you
right.
talk about those exact game plays, when I log into DraftKings, I don't see that. Is that because I'm not able to see that at this point, and on Monday that's when you're going to start being able to see more of those bets, or is there something I'm not seeing within the app itself that you can kind of coach me on, or is that something you can talk about a little bit?
That is something. Well, now it's because there's no games tomorrow, so there's no games live right now on the site because I'm trying to pull one up to give an example. And now that you say that, I know that you can guess exact score lines for soccer, for basketball, for football. I'm assuming you can do it for hockey.
Okay.
But that is something to keep an eye out. It's another great things about DraftKings I mentioned in the spot. There's so many options that they have, especially with futures as well. It really is fantastic. Get on the site, get comfortable with it now. Sign up, use the promo code STL Sports. Just get comfortable with the app. Take advantage of those bonus bets next week. Another game that we'll be able to wager on this Saturday, and then I guess you won't be able to wager on it legally in Missouri, but you'll be able to wager on their bowl game, and that is the Missouri Tigers. And they will be playing Arkansas on Saturday. And of course, the Mizzou coverage here on Domesticated Gamblers is brought to you by James Carlton with State Farm Insurance. And guys, this is the time of year to act on this because those renewal notices for your home and auto policies are starting to roll in. There's a very good chance you're going to see an increase from what you paid in 2025. So before you just say, whatever, I've had the same guy for years now, I'm just going to eat the increase and renew. Take 2 or 3 minutes and reach out to James Carlton to get a quote and see if he can save you money. So this same time last year, I got my renewal notice from my old agent and said, like, whoa, like that is way more than last year. I don't want to pay that. So I contacted James and his team, got a quote, ended up saving over $800 this year by switching my home and auto policies to James Carlton and State Farm. Whole process was super easy. Between the quote, a few phone calls and emails to get things going, I spent less than an hour on this and I ended up saving over $800. So it is absolutely worth your time, guys, to get the quote. And if you ever have to file a claim, you'll be in great shape because James and his team have over 460 5-star reviews on Google. That kind of service matters, especially if you've ever dealt with a bad claims experience. So get a quote from James Carlton with State Farm. You'll help yourself and you'll help your Tigers as well. Just mention Domesticated Gamblers or STL Sports Central, and James will make a $20 donation to Mizzou's preferred NIL fund, which is the Will Win Fund. So do it over the long weekend, guys. There's an easy form you can fill out at carltoninsurance.net. So if your insurance costs leg and an arm, call James Carlton, State Farm. We have Mr. Sharp back. He is here. How are we doing, Shawn?
I don't know. Am I doing good or not? I don't know what's going on.
We're doing good right now. Let's just keep rolling with it. Let's talk Mizzou and Arkansas on Saturday. I know there's probably some of you out there sweating the over 7.5 wins on the season win total. This is another lesson, guys, to keep in mind starting next week. Shawn, we talk about this all the time. Get the best of the number. I was able to find over 6.5 on Mizzou's season win total, so I got that bet cashed already. So don't have to worry about Saturday's game. But if you want to bet Saturday's game individually, Mizzou is a small favorite. They are now up to -3. It was 2.5 this morning. The total is 55.5. So let us know your thoughts on this one in the chat. If we get any other college plays, feel free to throw them in there and we'll talk about it. It looks like Mr. Sharp is still frozen on my screen. So Tito, do you want to go first on Mizzou and Arkansas? What do you think on this one? The number appeared low on the surface to me when I first saw it.
Yeah, the number is definitely low, and I would if I had to make a play, I would go with the over on this one as well. I think Hardy's going to rush for about 700 yards, and only thing stopping Hardy and the Missouri Tigers would be Bobby Petrino and his damn motorcycle that he crashed a few years ago. I'll tell you that right now. So Arkansas doesn't have a chance here, folks. They can't stop the run. Bro Pabula will be handing the rock to Hardy all day long after Eli signs his new extension that hopefully he signs here in the next several days. And so they get that for those that have the win total at 7.5. You cash that bet this Saturday. If not, you'll kind of be eating your own words after what Eric had told you about getting the best of the numbers. So I definitely think the Tigers are going to pull this one out. And I don't even know what kind of trophy is it? Is it is it like the border battle thing? I don't even know. It's a big woof. Who cares about a damn trophy when you're 8-4? What a big woof.
I think it's the battle line rivalry, if I'm not mistaken, and it looks like the trophy weighs about 5 million pounds. Yeah, they got to lug that thing around. I agree with you. Leaning towards the over. You did mention Drinkwitz. It's a good reminder to me. If you guys didn't see breaking news about an hour ago, I saw it. STL Sports Central on their social media accounts posted that the Missouri Board of Curators approved an extension for Eli Drinkwitz. It'll be a 6-year extension if incentives are met. There will be a raise for Drink and his staff that will make them a top 4 paid staff in the SEC. The deal is not signed yet. In all caps, the deal is not signed yet, but it is considered very close. And this is all per Frank Cusimano of News Channel 5. Frank always doing a great job breaking stories here in the area. So, a big complaint about Eli Drinkwitz is he doesn't win the big games.
Right.
But the one thing he does well is he does not lose games like this, at least over the last 3 years since Mizzou kind of took this next step as a program. I looked this up just to make sure. The Tigers have lost 9 games over the last 3 seasons. Every single loss has been to a ranked team. So they are undefeated against everyone else. So Drink has pretty good. So we know Drink has his shortcomings, but he gets it done against bad teams and wins games like this. And Arkansas is a bad team. 2-9 overall, 0-7 in the SEC. They can score, no doubt, which helps your overplay for sure, Tito. But Mizzou, a fantastic defense. Arkansas is just horrific defensively. Dead last in the SEC in yards allowed and points allowed. They don't get any pressure on the quarterback. Last in passing yards allowed. Second to last in sacks. They can't stop the run either. Second to last in the SEC in rushing yards allowed. Only team worse than them against the run is Mississippi State. And we saw what Ahmad Hardy did against them, as you referenced. So I'm with you. I think this game's going to resemble more the Mississippi State game than the Oklahoma game. I just think just feed Hardy. Don't dick around with this. Feed Hardy, and then he can set up the throw from that, do some play action, get some easy throws for Beulah. I know some people are questioning Mizzou's motivation here. I'm not. I feel like if that was going to be a problem, it would have showed up in the Mississippi State game when they'd already been eliminated from the CFP. So I think Arkansas is the team that's actually the one that's cooked. Bobby Petrino was talking about how the effort of his players wasn't there last week. They gave up 52 points at Texas. So I really like Missouri here. This is in pocket for me. I've already bet the Tigers at -2.5. I would take it all the way up to -6.5. I think they're going to win this thing by 2 scores. So do you share my confidence on that one, Tito?
Yeah, I definitely share your confidence. And I think, especially if Eli signs this extension, he's going to really want to put it to people in regards to, always the people that do complain about him not winning the big games. And he's going to put it on Arkansas and he's going to show people, hey, I just signed this extension. We're a top 4 coaching paid team here in the SEC. And so guess what? We're going to feed Ahmad Hardy the rock, and he might score 38 plus points himself. Okay. So I think Mizzou can probably cover this over by themselves in this matchup. But yeah, I think Bobby Petrino, is it Fayetteville? Is that where they're at? In Fayetteville or whatever? What a big whoop of a town that is in Arkansas. I think he's worn out his welcome. He's gonna be riding his motorcycle out of town for a second time. So yeah, I like your optimism, and I think Mizzou takes care of business very, very easily on Saturday.
Now, one other game I want to mention, the big one at Ohio State at Michigan on Saturday. I think you got to take Michigan here. I got them at +11.5. The current number is 10. I'm still good with that. Michigan has beaten Ohio State 4 straight times. Last year, they were a 19.5-point underdog and won the game outright. So we have seen worse Michigan teams win this game against great Ohio State teams. And this Michigan team's good. If they win this game, they're almost certainly going to be in the playoff. And I just feel like they're in Ryan Day's head. So just like if my life depended on it, like, yes, I would take Ohio State to win the game straight up, but like getting double digits with the game in Ann Arbor, like I want to be on the Wolverines here. So I still really like it at plus 10 for Michigan. Tito, got any thoughts on that game or any others this weekend?
No, yeah, absolutely. I think I'm going to go the opposite way. I think Ryan Day is going to want to spoil Michigan's chances at the CFP by taking care of business in Michigan and kind of prove all those haters that were calling for his job last year and say, hey, look, I can, in fact, beat Michigan. I'm going to beat Michigan in the big house or whatever they call Michigan Stadium, whatever it's called up there. So I actually like Ohio State in this matchup. I think they're out to prove something. I think Ryan Day is going to be taking, setting the record straight and go from there. So this guy over here, he finally logs back in. His screen's all blurry. He looks like a damn video game from the mid-90s with all those pixels. He's pixelated to the nth degree, folks. So yeah, that's where I would go with it's all pixelated. So yeah, that's where I would go with my college football play, Eric. I'm going to go opposite of you and go with the Ohio State University Buckeyes.
Shawn, while we got you, give us your thoughts on Mizzou and Arkansas, or if you got anything else on college football this weekend.
Drake's going to keep us as a mid-tier team in the SEC. Bad decision to keep him around.
That's a hot take, Daddy. It is a hot take. It's succinct. Do you have any action on Mizzou and Arkansas? Mizzou as a 3-point favorite here.
Absolutely not. Nah, this thing doesn't do anything for me. It's the same old Mizzou. Everybody was thinking about a tournament, getting into the playoffs, but here we are again. Maybe we're going to get the Ice City Bowl. Who knows what we're going to get?
Oh, God. I want to see drinking mayo poured on him at the Duke's Mayo Bowl. That's what I want to see.
Oh, Billy. Me too.
Let's see if Shawn's got any opinions on college basketball. Let's talk a little bit of college hoops. If you're watching, any thoughts on college basketball, put in the chat. We'll talk about it. By the way, off to a good start with college basketball betting this season. I like to wait a couple weeks, let some data emerge, watch these teams, kind of see, we gotta see what Ken Pom thinks about these teams. So I dove in about a week ago. Tito, I'm off to a 10-6 start. So I'll take that all day. If you check out my profile on the Action Network app, again, username is esontag. I've made, I believe, 275 bets on college basketball over the last year and up over 17 units. So another reason
Eric,
to get on
you are the man in college basketball.
I love it. I love it. Ken Pom has been a great resource for me. I highly recommend. Again, not an advertisement, but spend the $20 a year. The data is just incredible that you can find on Ken Pom. That's where I've been, going to for some of these plays to get off to this 10-6 start. Real quick on Mizzou, because they got another dog shit game on Friday against Cleveland State. They're 7-0. This is the last blood donor. Finally, they got a couple more coming up later in December, but at least next week we got Notre Dame and Kansas on the schedule. That'll be huge. No line for the Cleveland State game yet, but Ken Pom has it projected as around Mizzou -26. I wouldn't bet it, but if you're looking for some action, I'd actually lean Cleveland State. But if you remember, this is where Dennis Gates was the head coach before he came to Missouri. So I don't think he's going to want to run it up on these guys. And I think the Tigers, they just want to get this part of the schedule over with, start playing some real teams at Notre Dame and next week, and then they play KU in Kansas City on a neutral site. So, Shawn, I know you're in wait-and-see mode on Mizzou. You got anything to add on them? Oh, no.
It's all good, Daddy. Don't worry about it, Mr. Sharp. Tito will take it from here, baby. Yeah, he's gone again. So there we go. He'll be in and out. He's got too much things going on in Thanksgiving, folks. He's partying it up over there, wherever he might be, in his basement of his parents or wherever he might be. But I'll tell you right now, Eric, I'm with you. I'm going to stay away from this Mizzou game against Cleveland State. You're right. Dennis Gates not going to want to embarrass his former school. This is probably just more of a kind of a cupcake kind of thing. Hey, I'm going to leave you, go to an SEC school, but I'm going to take care of you and show you some competition. So I'm going to stay away from this one. Hopefully Mizzou can kind of get into full gear, and hopefully their free throw shooting can get a little bit more solidified going into these matchups against Notre Dame and the Jayhawks of Kansas. So I'm going to stay away from this game as well.
Speaking of free throw shooting, I see you got your Billikens hoodie on there. They have a massive game tomorrow night on Thanksgiving. I know it's not a household name, but Santa Clara is a really good team. This is the best team that SLU is going to face in the non-conference. The Billikens are number 50 in the KenPom ranking. Santa Clara is right behind them at number 53. So this is a really important game for SLU to help build a resume for the NCAA tournament. And then Friday, they're going to take on either Minnesota or Stanford. I know those are bigger names, but Santa Clara's a better team than both of them. So SLU is going to be favored no matter who they play on Friday. Well, I like the strategy, Mr. Sharp. I think this is a good idea.
I'm switching it up. Something's wrong with the laptop. I don't know what is going on.
No, this is good. I think this is going to work. Definitely want to have you here for NFL, but we're just talking Billikens with the big games. Santa Clara tomorrow, Minnesota or Stanford on Friday. Then they have a true road game on Tuesday at Loyola Marymount. So this is a big week coming up for the Billikens. It starts tomorrow against Santa Clara, and the books essentially have this thing as a toss-up. SLU's a minus 1.5 point favorite. Totals 157.5. Tito, this is not me as an alum or homer. I truly think tomorrow night we see the Billikens show everyone that they're for real. I think they've been waiting for this opportunity. I could go on and on about this team. I'm just going to leave it at this, though. Tito, you mentioned free throws. And in a game that's got a 1.5 point spread, you got to hit your free throws in March. You got to hit your free throws in November, too. Well, you have one team that is second in the country in free throw shooting at 83%. That's the Billikens. You have another team in Santa Clara that is 65% from the charity stripe. That is 322nd in the country. So if you got a game with a 1.5 point spread, I want to be on the team that hits their free throws in November. So I am too emotionally involved to bet this one. But if you're just objectively looking at this game, I would recommend a bet on SLU. I think they get this done. I think there's going to be a lot of people on Billiken bandwagon when we do this show a week from now. So Tito, what do you think? Are we firing a bet on the Billikens tomorrow?
No, I don't like the 1.5. That's really, really scary. I do agree with your analysis in regards to if it's a close game, you're going to want someone that can hit your free throws. I love the analogy of hitting your free throws in November, right? So I definitely think that's a good call out in regards to what what SLU can do. I do like SLU's depth, but I am a little concerned with Santa Clara and their length, right? So they can rebound the ball to a degree. So as long as I keep on saying Mizzou, my goodness, Tito, get your head out of your ass. My gosh. I think if SLU can actually, get out there and score some easy buckets and get the flow of their 9 players that play consistently, if they can get them in the game and get things rolling, I think I'm going to be optimistic about how they can do. But I think it's going to depend on their rebounding and then if they can get out there and transition.
Yeah, Eric, I think you ought to throw a quarter unit on SLU. Have a little bit of fun tomorrow. I know you're emotionally invested, but there's nothing wrong with throwing a little taste on it for your home team, baby.
Just makes me so nervous. I hate the double whammy. I'm very SLU, so basically my sports bucket list of what is left for teams I root for. I want Mizzou to make a Final Four in college basketball. I want them to win a national championship in football. I'm probably going to die still hoping for that. I want SLU to make one Sweet 16 before I die. A Sweet 16. I think that's a reasonable expectation. This team, when SLU to Mizzou is good at basketball, nothing gets me more fired up like when watching the game. Because basketball is so back and forth. There's so many ebbs and flows and highs. It's a very emotional game to watch. I tell my wife and daughter, I'm like, hey, Dad might just be making weird noises for the next 2 hours. I'm making a lot of weird noises tomorrow on Thanksgiving night as I have laying on the couch with my turkey and my stuffing and my pumpkin pie in my belly. I'm going to be locked in for this one. So, but yeah, I really think SLU's going to they're going to show out. I really do think that they're ready for this.
Well, listen, you know your team better than anyone, and it sounds like you're confident and bullish they're going to win. I might put a little taste on it for you.
Well, I'm going to be on the post-game show tomorrow. Oh, do it for me. Oh, well,
yeah.
All right. You're talking my language now.
Maybe a little Christmas gift.
I'm going to have to be locked in too. Yeah, I like that. not just a fan. I got to have my media hat on tomorrow because I'm going to be in the post game with Matthew Rocchio. So watch the Billikens 6:00 tomorrow night. Join us after the game here on the STL Sports Central YouTube channel. All right, Mr. Sharp, you are sounding good. I'm glad you're back because it's time to get into week 13 of the NFL. If you're watching, I'd love to get your guys' thoughts on these games in the live chat as we go through them. I know there's a lot of people out for Skanksgiving tonight having a good time. So maybe pull up the show Thursday morning before the game because we're going to really get into these Thanksgiving games. We got, again, great slate tomorrow. Going to go through every game, but a reminder, get our official plays for the NFL and all sports in that free Action Network app. Again, you can follow me at esontag, up over 26 units, over 1,500 bets. Shawn, Mr. Sharp, $44.99, up over $3,500 since the month of June. And Shawn, you're up over $1,500 alone in the NFL. So this is your bailiwick. And we have, what a treat this is tomorrow. Like, I'm thankful for this slate tomorrow. Yeah. It starts at noon with the Packers and the Lions. So, Mr. Sharp, obviously got to start with you here because you are a part owner of this ball club here. The Packers are a 2.5-point dog. And the total's 48.5. I know you got a bet in pocket for this one already, Mr. Sharp. So tell us about that.
Before we get into the games, Eric, I know you're a numbers guy, right? And did you know Thanksgiving favorites are 51-9 straight up all time. So how do you analyze that number, Eric?
Well, see, this is what I usually do in my past is, that's a trend. I need to bet that. Well, you have taught me, and it's again, another reason to watch a show. We learn these things.
Yeah.
A lot of those favorites was when Detroit was dog shit and they're playing, the Packers back when they had Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers. Trends like that don't matter with this kind of team. A trend that does matter, and at least I think that matters. I saw Matt LaFleur as an underdog as a head coach. His record is 25-13-1 against the spread. He's also.
Did you know he is the only NFL coach in NFL history to be an winning underdog coach?
I was just going to mention that 20-18 straight up. Only NFL head coach in the last 60 years in the Super Bowl era to have a winning record straight up as an underdog. To me, that's a trend that matters because it has to do with him. It doesn't have to do with when Troy Aikman and was playing in the 90s for the Cowboys and Thanksgiving.
Right. So, I'm glad that you're catching on to these trends and where you need to kind of look at the new numbers against the old numbers. Also, Tito, guess what month it is?
It's November, Daddy.
It's Toyotathon, baby. And guess who balls out in Toyotathon month? J Love, right? Eric, you'll love this. Jordan Love is 11-5 in Toyotathon month with 28 touchdowns, 2 interceptions.
Now, does that trend matter?
What?
Yes. It's like Aaron Rodgers in December. He doesn't lose.
This is when he kind of locks in where Jordan Love really took a step last season at this time, where he really took off the last 6 weeks or so of the year.
That was 2 years ago.
2 years ago.
What do you mean by Toyotathon? Am I missing something here? What are we talking about here?
When you get done with the show, you can get with the times. Brock Purdy wore a Toyotathon jacket to Monday Night Football. It's Toyotathon, baby. Go on, actually look it up. We don't have time to explain to you. But listen, guess what else? Guess what else the Lions like to do? They like to play man coverage. Guess who has a passer rating over 100 against man coverage this season? Jordan Love. So, anyway, Mr. Sharp's going to get into this breakdown. I should have checked the injury report before placing this bet because the Packers are a little banged up. Keyshawn Nixon's questionable. Quay Walker's questionable. Nate Hobbs is questionable. So, some injuries in the secondary. Linebacker with an injury. I'm hoping all three of them guys play. But we do know Jaden Reed will not suit up for this one, but Jacobs is going to give it a go. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to still ride with the second best defense in the NFL, the Green Bay Packers. And I'm going to take the Pack. It's at +3 right now. I got it at 2.5. So this is going to be a green bean casserole 2-unit play for Mr. Sharp.
2 units on the Pack, +3. All right, Tito, what do you think on this one?
Yeah, what a big whoop. I see on DraftKings it's 2.5 too, Daddy, so you're getting the best of the number. If it was at 3, whatever book you're talking about there. Well, what a big whoop that is. This Jordan Love is an absolute fraud. I streamed the Green Bay Packers in my fantasy team this past week, and they got me about 16 or 17 points. An easy victory for Tito in the league. I'll tell you that right now, Daddy. I'm going to win this league going away, Daddy. None of you guys can touch Tito in that. I'll tell you that right now. So give me the Detroit Lions and give me Dan Campbell on Turkey Day eating a bunch of turduckens and taking the Packers to Pound Town, baby.
You are right, Tito. Current line on DraftKings is Lions -2.5, but it is juiced at -120. So that is very close to just getting bumped up to 3. So if you're betting on DraftKings, if you're waiting on DraftKings, wait for a +3 on the Packers. I mean, Mr. Sharp's my ride or die. I'm telling him on this. Can I also interest you in the first half under on this one at the key number of 24.5?
Yeah, this is probably going to be an NFC North type of battle game here. Punch it out, drag it out. The Packers really slowed down that running game, Detroit week 1. And then you've seen the Giants go into Detroit, whatever it's called, the Ford Dome. I don't know what the heck they're calling it. Ford Field, I guess. They're probably still calling it Ford Field. And they really slowed down the running game. And then when Jared Goff, when he has to move out of the pocket, he really struggles. We've seen it, outdoors. Now this year without Ben Johnson, the offense isn't as creative. I like the Packers here in this division game, and I think the defense keeps them in it, and we go on these long, methodical drives with Jacobs, and we wear them down.
Yeah, I could totally see that, and that's why I'm kind of thinking first half under. I feel like Lions games get a little batshit crazy in the second half many times, but we saw the Packers shut down the Lions week 1. It's not like it was a bad weather game. It was a beautiful day in Green Bay that day, so it wasn't like outdoor golf was having issues that day. And the Lions defense ain't too shabby either. I think that's kind of an underrated part of their team. They're 12th in the NFL in points allowed per game. So I think it's a big game. I think these teams kind of feel each other out, slow start. I think I wouldn't take it at 23.5. 24.5 is a very key number there.
It is.
But I think that's a good look tomorrow if you're looking for additional action.
I like that a lot. Tito, no one's a fraud when they make it to the NFL, buddy.
Speaking of frauds, Tito, your Kansas City Chiefs, they're in action tomorrow at Dallas against the Cowboys. This number is currently at 3.5 for the Chiefs. Total is 52.5. So Tito, Mahomes, Kelsey, where's your action on this one?
Mahomes, Kelsey, Andy Reid, Thanksgiving. Yeah, the Zebras are going to come out in full force and take care of the Dallas Cowboys, and Mahomes is going to get a bunch of calls. I'm loving the fact that Mahomes and this Kansas City Chief bunch is kind of struggling along. It's going to help Tito and his fantasy team some more because Mahomes is going to be throwing the rock. Kelsey's going to be, diving for touchdowns and all that nonsense. So I definitely like the Chiefs in this matchup against this fraud of a franchise and Jerry Jones. What a big woof that guy is. So I'm never taking Jerry Jones. Makes me want to puke for having to take Mahomes and Travis Kelsey. But hey, for my fantasy team, I like the Chiefs in this matchup.
Shawn, you agree?
Yeah, I got some numbers here, Eric, for you. Mahomes is 14-2 straight up in a dome. Also, Thanksgiving road favorites are 25-1 straight up. Guess what else, Tito? Mahomes is 19-3 against teams on short rest. And then this is already in pocket for Mr. Sharp. This was a two-unit mama stuffing play here for Mr. Sharp. But Mr. Sharp might make this a whale of a 10-unit play. I don't know if you guys have seen this on X, but George Pickens posted a picture of Brittany Mahomes and said, "Tomorrow we feast." And listen, I would not F with Patty Mahomes and his wife and post that. So he deleted it. It's recently been deleted. But my God, this could be a whale of a play here. And I'm really loving this Chiefs game. My God, I might bet at money line, a little extra taste on the money line to hedge myself because the Chiefs like to play them close games. But what is Pickens doing? The Cowboys are just getting rolling. Why poke the bear with Mahomes? What are you doing? But this one is in pockets. It's already a 2-unit play for Mr. Sharp.
Oh, my goodness. I had not seen that. Yeah, that is a bad idea. That is not the bear you want to be poking. You're poking a goat, too. Almost a goat. He's probably buying Brady at this point. Jesus. Yeah, just the 3.5. Would you want a 3, Shawn? Would you? I know when we bet it was at 3.
Yeah.
So, but you would still play just a 3.5, maybe just not quite as heavy.
It'd be a 1-unit play at 3.5. At the key number 3 there, I like it at 2-unit play. But, if the Packers cover for me, I'm probably going to make this a 5 or 6-unit play.
Yeah, I'm with you. This, before we even talked about any of this, when just looking at these 3 games of Thanksgiving, I thought Chiefs was my favorite bet of the 3 games. That was such a massive game last week to win over the Colts, stay in the race. They finally win a close game. They had been 0-5 in these one-possession games. Like I've talked about, like it's not like this team's been falling apart. It's just been variance going against them. And, you got a Dallas team, very good offensively, but they're still horrible defensively. I know it's been a little bit better the last couple of weeks, but Mahomes, I thought he was going to carve them up anyway. Like now after this, like, oh Jesus. Like, and I don't know if this trend matters, but I did see the Cowboys have been terrible on Thanksgiving over the last 14 years, 3-11 against the spread, failing to cover by 8 points per game. I know not all of that is Dak, but Dak has been a good chunk of that. And just the miracle win last week over the Eagles, I don't think that's a game you like, oh, we're going to build on that and keep ascending. I think that's one of those you come back down to earth after that. And the Chiefs, they're on a mission to get in the playoffs and defend their AFC championship here. So I think they win this game by somewhere between 7 to 14 points.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's going to be a close game. I definitely could see a 10-point game, and the Dallas Cowboys backdoor cover this thing at 3.5. So I like the key number at 3. But the Cowboys, since they traded for Quentin Williams, they're only allowing 18 points a game on average. And Kenny Clark, Quentin Williams up the middle, they stopped the running game. But the back end of the secondary is still pretty weak. And I don't know what Pickens is doing. I mean, you had the momentum going. Why do this? Why get Mahomes rattled? Like, he's just kind of being mediocre this season. Watch out for Patty Mahomes this week.
Tito, I think that's good news for you and your club.
I'm going to bet some prop plays for Mahomes too.
Yeah. Speaking of key numbers, another key number on the Thursday night game tomorrow night with the Bengals at the Ravens. The number sitting right there at 7. With the Ravens favored with a total of 51.5. I like the Bengals here. Lamar doesn't look right to me. He's fighting through a bunch of things physically right now. If you look at his numbers, the last 3 games, it's not good at all. He looks like a bum. Under a 60% completion percentage in every game, under 200 yards passing in every game, a total of just 1 touchdown and 2 interceptions. He's not running the ball effectively because he's beat up. Last 3 games, he's got 20 carries for just 57 yards. So I don't think they win by margin here with Joe Burrow back. Maybe he's going to be rusty, but it's just a division game. Key number is 7. I like the Bengals here. If it was 6.5, it'd be a pass, but it's 7. I want to take a shot because Lamar just doesn't look right. You agree, Shawn?
Yeah, spot on. I agree with you. Can Joey B and the Bengals run the table again and get maybe have some drama at week 18 to get in the playoffs? I don't think so because this, I guess it's called DVOA. You would know what it is, Eric, defense. So in the last 60 years, this is the worst defensive team in the last 60 years of NFL football. So It's a bad Bengals defense. Their start defensive end isn't going to play this game, but Lamar looks terrible. I do like the key number at 7.5. And Tito, we're going to call this one. This is a pumpkin pie with whipped cream and 2 units on top, baby.
Oh, I love it.
Ooh, it's
oh,
dessert.
my goodness. This guy, you must be writing this stuff down. And DBOA, what the fuck are we talking about? Some more analytical bullshit from Mr. Sharp. I'll tell you that. What a big woof. But I'm with both of you guys. I like Joe Burrow and his swag and getting the ball to the Jamar Chase. Another player on Tito's fantasy team that I'm going to just take whoever I'm playing this week to Pound Town. So give me the Bengals and give me that 7 points, and let's see them shock the world against Lamar Jackson and this fraud of a coach, Jimmy or John Harbaugh, whoever the fuck the Harbaugh is in Baltimore.
DVOA, I hear about it all the time. I reference it in handicapping. I have no idea what it means. I just know that it's an important stat.
Big one.
That's an important stat when it comes to defense. We got another 7-point spread in the Black Friday game with the Bears at the Eagles. Eagles -7 at home. Your total's 44.5. Mr. Sharp, why don't you get us started on this one?
Well, I think the Eagles get right here. I think the Bears are still a fraud. They've had a very, very easy schedule this year. They snuck out a win against Pittsburgh. But really, there was a illegal formation, or Mason Rudolph had him in field goal range to tie the game up. Mason Rudolph's not very good at football. I think Aaron Rodgers would have won that game. I like the Eagles -7 here. I don't care about the key number. I think they wear down a bad Chicago defense. I think Barkley gets going. The Bears allow the most explosive runs to running backs in the NFL. I think Barkley has a big game. I like the Eagles to get right and that offense to get going. So give me the Eagles -7.
All right, Mr. Sharp's bringing the heat tonight. I like this. Tito, do you dare go up against Mr. Sharp here?
Hell yeah, I'm going up against Mr. Sharp. I went up against you last week, and all this nonsense about the Chicago Bears being frauds. And what did they do? They took care of business last
They
week.
didn't cover, though.
I don't give a crap
brother.
about the covers and the points, all that. What a big wolf. I don't give a rip.
So what a fraud of a take that was there.
Eric was singing Mason Rudolph's. He was singing his praises last week about how great of a quarterback he was, and he started a bunch of games. And I said the Bears were going to take care of business, and they did money line wise their daddy. So give me Caleb Williams, give me Ben Johnson, give me Luther Burden, that fraud of a player that Mr. Sharp's got on his fantasy team. What a big wolf that is. I'll tell you that right now. So give me the Bears. Give me the 7 points. The Eagles are a bunch of frauds. How do you give up a lead like that to the Dallas Cowboys? What a big wolf that was. The Eagles are going the wrong way. The Bears are going the right way. And I'm taking the points, and I'm watching the Bears shock everybody by winning even money line. Forget the points. I think they take care of business. That's what I think is going to happen. So give me the Bears, Daddy.
Bears plus 270 on the money line. Yeah, Luther Burden he's percolating. He's got things going on. He's developing, definitely trending up. There's no way I'm going with Tito here. This is a perfect spot to take the Eagles after they collapse in Dallas. If you look at their recent games over the last month, it's been very impressive, the teams that they have beaten. And this was a one-quarter blip, essentially. And like this Bears team, like, it's incredible. Like, I love seeing this. I'm happy for my family that's in Chicago that's Bears fans. But I didn't realize this until I looked this up yesterday. If you look at their 8 wins, the Bears have only had 1 come against a team with the winning record. And that was last week against the Steelers and Mason Rudolph. So, 7, I'd probably fine laying it, but I think I'd be more inclined to want to take the Eagles in a teaser or a money line parlay. I actually have them in a money line parlay with PSG in the Champions League. PSG took care of business today against Tottenham Hotspur, Tito. So I just need the Eagles to win straight up to cash that ticket. But, if you want to pair the Eagles with another NFL team, I have a suggestion for that in a little bit. But Eagles -7. I mean, the Bears are just due for an ass kicking here at some point really soon.
Yeah, totally agree. It's a bad defense. They're going to get caught here eventually. I think the Eagles, Jalen Hurts is actually playing really good football. 17 touchdowns, 1 interception, 67% completion rate. The running game's just been struggling this year. That was a preseason little darling. We all were fading Barkley after all those touches last year. But I think he can get it going against a bad Bears defense. Like I said, they let up a lot of explosive runs. And last week, 14 parlay, that Dallas came home for me. Miracle win. But really, if you watch that game, the turnovers early cost the Cowboys. Cowboys were really outplaying them most of that game, and it showed up in the final result, Tito.
Tito.
Well, Tito, get us started on the next one. I got a few people, looks like they've rolled in from their Skanksgiving festivities. So feel free to give us your thoughts on these games in the chat as we go through them if you're watching. Tito, get us started on the Arizona Cardinals at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, where this number's dropped to 2.5. Tampa -2.5, totals 43.5.
Yeah,
one thing. Hold on one second. There is an interesting bet for Thanksgiving. If you're a gambler, it's called a Grand Salami, and you could do the over or under on all 3 games at one. I think it's 151 or 152 depending on which book you get. So I am going to bet, though, under 152 on all 3 games, just for a little taste, a little Grand Salami.
What a degenerate. What an absolute degenerate play that is.
That's a great Thanksgiving bet, isn't it?
The degenerate thing would be taking the over because people would be rooting for all that. Mr. Sharp's going to want he's going to root for human failure. He just wants these players to fail and not score.
Anyway, I had to share that bet. Yeah, that's just a little bet I've been looking at.
I like that one.
That's a beautiful play right there. That's the type of analysis you get right here at Domesticated Gamblers from Mr. Sharp. What a great play that is. I like that too. I might go over to Illinois tonight and make that play right now. That's a sharp play right there, Mr. Sharp. No, you want to talk about Arizona and Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay is a walking mass unit. My goodness, how many damn injuries can this team take? And that brought up a coach, Todd Bowles. What a big whoop. That guy shows no emotion, has no heart. Looks like he's going to cry every time the camera goes to him. And you want to talk about Luther Burden kind of percolating? The only guy that I know that's percolating is Michael Wilson, who Tito got off the waiver wire, Daddy. That guy's going to lead Tito to another fantasy football championship. I got all these great players, 18-plus targets and 15 catches per game the last 3 or 4 weeks. My goodness, this guy's an absolute stud. And so give me the Arizona Cardinals and give me Michael Wilson. I'm taking the 2.5 points because Tampa Bay is not healthy whatsoever.
Shawn, what do you think?
No bet here. I'm not sure if Baker's going to play or not. You got to wait till the kickoff to see what's going to happen. But no bet here. Tampa is fading, but Arizona's a bad team. They're out of the playoff hunt. So maybe take Tampa, but no bet. Stay away from this degenerate game.
Yeah, I'm looking at a prop here. I somehow missed on this last week. I'm going to run it back with Jacoby Brissett, over 1.5 touchdown passes. Still winning on the odds. I think it's going to be right around minus 110, though. He hit that number in each of his first 5 starts after he took over for Kyler Murray. Only 1 touchdown pass last week against Jags, even though he threw it 49 times. And like that's the main reason for this bet. They just let this dude throw until his arm's about to fall off.
Yeah.
So in his 6 starts, Brissett has thrown an average of 43.5 passes per game. And Tampa's defense is all worn down. They've been getting picked on the last 3 games. Tito, you said it. They're so beat up. So this is something I do sometimes in gambling that I think is a flaw of mine. I see something, a play I really like, because something has happened, 5-6 times in a row, whatever. I bet it, and then it doesn't come through, and then I forget about it. But I still think the process was right when he threw the ball 49 times. So I want to hop right back on it, not be like, oh, I want to get my money back, but just to remember that like shit happens, variance happens. But I think the process was right with that one, and I think variance will come on the right side if I stick with that bet.
Man, you're spot on. I do the same thing. Sometimes I forget about that little edge. Fading Dallas last weekend, I hit A.J. Brown. But there was a week or two where I kind of forgot about that because I lost one, and you kind of get off that train. But that's a great call out, Eric.
Another good example that I'd cashed 6 or 7 in a row fading the Dallas secondary. I lost in the Raiders game because Bowers didn't score. So my God, I totally forgot about it. Another good reason to follow us in the Action Network app. I follow Mr. Sharp, Mr. Sharp 44.99. You bet AJ Brown to score a touchdown. I'm like, oh yeah, he's playing Dallas. Like, I got to get on a receiver to score against Dallas. Cash that bet. So it's just another great illustration to why we use the Action Network. Another reason, because I saw Shawn put a bet in for this next game on some point on Sunday with the Rams and the Panthers. With the Rams, a 10-point road favorite with a total of 44.5. So Shawn, why don't you tell the audience what you have put in pocket for that game?
Yeah, so I already got the Panthers at plus 10. I think it moved up to 10.5, like you said. I like the Panthers, a bounce-back game here at home to cover this number. Carolina's been a pretty good team all year. They're still in this division hunt. I think this is a do-or-die game. Bryce Young plays a little better football at home. And they had a lot of turnovers against San Francisco. They just couldn't cash in. Bryce Young had some turnovers in the red zone himself. Tough place to go play, the bright lights of Monday Night Football. But I think the Rams, coming off a big win, they kind of have a little letdown game. And Sean McVay also knows when to pull it back with his team and rely on the running game, kind of wear this game down with the long drives and maybe not run up the score. You see this a lot with McVay's team. So I like Carolina and the number here a lot. I think Carolina stays inside the number. I'm not saying they're going to win the game, but I think they stay inside the number.
Yeah, you've been cashing on them. You were on them in the preseason saying this is a team, not necessarily that's going to be, this breakout division winner. They still could win the division, especially with Tampa beat up, but a good team to bet on. They're 7-4 against the spread as an underdog, and they're even 6-5 straight up as an underdog. And they were in that game Monday night. They had a chance to cover late against the Niners. And,
that extra 2-point play, man, that really kind of turned that game on us.
Yeah, that hurt. And you referenced the Rams schedule. So I'm just trying to pick out a week where they could potentially be flat. And, I saw they just come off the big games they beat the Niners and the Seahawks, and then a Sunday night game against the Bucs. You got this game against the Panthers, and then their next 3 games, a division game against the Cardinals, then the Lions, and then the Seahawks again. So you're not going to have your best stuff every week. Just trying to pick out a spot where the Rams don't bring their A game. I think this is it. So I'm going to be on this one with you for sure. Tito, is it unanimous?
It is completely unanimous, but I do have to say, I do like the comments from Sean McVay. It's going to make me vomit in my mouth a little bit in regards to nobody really cares who the best team in the NFL is in week 12 or week 13, right? So everyone was singing their praises about how hot they were and are they the legitimate Super Bowl contender in the NFC. So that number is really, really high, and Mr. Sharp is right on. He's been right on with Carolina the entire season. So I would be a fool not to go with Mr. Sharp in this play. And anytime I can bet against the Rams, I'm definitely going to do it. And I'm looking at you, Dan Schrader. What a big wolf. You're still on St. Louis. You're still a Ram fan, even though they went to LA. What a big wolf that is. I'm looking right at you, Daddy.
One thing before we move on, I've been letting my son bet these little parlays for $5. And these are my favorite bets by far. And last week we had a 3-teamer. We had Jamar Gibbs anytime touchdown, JSN, and Derrick Henry. And when Derrick Henry hit that one, I mean, he won $13 off $5, But this dude was so pumped up. It was worth it. So it doesn't matter your unit size. That was my favorite bet that we cashed last weekend. I did hit another 4-teamer and a 2-teamer last week. It was a very nice weekend for Mr. Sharp. But that bet with him has just been incredible. He cashed another one with Genty in the under. So it's been awesome, man. This is what, you can throw $1 for your kids. Have a 10-team anytime touchdown parlay for your kids, and it's just fun to sit around and watch it.
Yeah, absolutely. Like that's the bet. And at the end of the day, this is about fun. It's about entertainment. That's what we're trying to do. Obviously, we want to win and cash some money, but if you're having fun and, basically just spending entertainment dollars, that is the main thing. Next game, Texans at the Colts. Colts a 4.5-point favorite. Total's 44.5. I lean under. This Houston defense is incredible. They just don't give up points. Only 2 teams have scored more than 20 on them all season. This is obviously a huge test against the number 1 scoring offense in the NFL. But the Texans have done well against some great offenses. The Rams only scored 14 on them. The Bills just 19 last week. Under's been cashing like crazy in Houston games this year. It's 8-3. And don't sleep on the Colts defense either. They're 9th in the NFL in points allowed per game. I know Jonathan Taylor's getting all the headlines, but their defense is a big reason they're having such a great season as well. So I think at 44.5, it's definitely a lean. It's a strong lean. I might bet it. We'll just kind of see as how the action shapes up as we go along. Tito, do you have a take on this game?
Yeah, I think that I do think that the Texans defense is legitimate, and I also think the Colts defense is pretty legitimate. But I'm starting to see a little cracks in Daniel Jones, and he kind of had some. He was a little bit nervous last week against Kansas City, especially going up there in Arrowhead. So if I had to make a play on this one, I would lean the Texans getting 4.5. I definitely think they're going to keep it close, and I like to get those points in a close matchup where I even think maybe the Colts might win, but I think it's going to be a close game.
Mr. Sharp is not going to agree with you guys. I think this is maybe one of my other favorite bets of the weekend. I'm not going to bet it yet. I'm going to see if C.J. Stroud plays or not. I like Indy here in this spot. The public is thinking about Houston and beating that Buffalo Bill team. They are frauds. They are not going to circle the wagons. That defense is pretty bad, and that let Houston get back into that game. I don't think the Colts defense is going to let Houston do much offensively. I like Indy to wear them down, and I don't mind laying the number at 4.5. I like Indy back at home. It's hard to win in Indy. I know it's a division game, but I think Indy is still a good team. They went toe-to-toe with Kansas City. I like Indy here.
Shawn, how about the Niners at the Browns, where San Francisco is a 4.5-point favorite? This total has cratered. It's down to 35.5. The weather looks like it's going to be ugly. It's going to be cold. It's going to be windy. It's Cleveland in late November. So, Mr. Sharp, what do you think here?
Boy, everybody's putting up the watch for Shedeur Sanders. Every time you go on X, you see these little screen passes he threw for 60 yards. You know, everyone's talking about he should have been the starter all season long. He's not that good, folks. He beat a very bad Las Vegas team. I think he was 11 out of 20. You know, not very impressive. I like San Francisco here, but I don't like the number because of the weather. This is a tough Cleveland defense. You might want to throw San Francisco in a little parlay money line. I think they do get it done. I think Sanders is going to be in for a long day. Maybe if there's a prop for Sanders over 1.5 interceptions, I might play that. But I'm not going to bet this one most likely unless I put San Fran in a money line situation.
Yeah, Niners are minus 238 on the money line, so that could be a good parlay piece. Sanders to throw a pick, minus 196 to throw 2 picks, plus 166 on DraftKings. I don't know. I don't really like either of those. But I agree with you that, like, you know, he had that one throw that was incredible, that was jaw-dropping, that got the highlights. But you're right. He was 11 out of 20. Yeah. He was not very good. It's not like he really balled out. I just think he's going to really struggle this week in the elements like this against a good San Francisco team that seems to be kind of putting it together. I think they've been dealing with these injuries that came fast and furious. I think they've kind of figured out kind of who they are. And I think what they're going to do is win a lot of low-scoring games. So I actually like another under here. I know this total is crazy low, 35.5, but now that it's dropped below this key number, I'll have to go back and find the stat, exactly what it was. I remember seeing this earlier this year. When a total hits 36, the under cashes at a crazy rate because people still think like, oh, God, I can't bet an under 36. But just picture this Cleveland, ugly, windy day. This game, it kind of reminds me of the Packers game. So I'm thinking we get something like 17-10, something like that. Because the Browns defense is incredible. 42 sacks, second in the NFL. Myles Garrett, like, just given the Defensive Player of the Year award now, 18 sacks on the season. He's going to break that all-time single-season record, it certainly looks like. And just the numbers, a little more numbers for the Browns defense. At home, they're giving up just 15 points per game. That includes giving up 17 to Joe Burrow and the Bengals and just 10 to the Packers. Lamar and the Ravens scored just 23 against them. You probably still get the under, even if the Niners get to 23. I'm thinking like 23-10, something like that. I don't think either team's going to get to 20, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, so Robert Saleh's got that defense back. And, you know, they're missing Bosa and Fred Warner. This is going to be a top defensive unit again.
Yeah. Tito, what do you think?
Yeah, I definitely don't like Cleveland in this matchup. I definitely think the Niners take care of business. I think Saleh exposes Shedeur Sanders for the 5th round pick that he is. So I think Brock Purdy's coming back. I like Juwan Jennings. That's another fantasy player for Tito's club, Daddy. So you got Christian McCaffrey, who's going to win comeback player of the year. So definitely like the Niners in this matchup.
Tito, we got a big one for you in this next one with the Saints at the Dolphins. New Orleans losing to Atlanta last week. That is huge for your ticket, Tito, for the Saints to have the fewest wins in the NFL. And they're facing a Miami Dolphins team that you were high on before the season. Start to play a little bit better. Won 3 out of their last 4, and the Dolphins are a 5.5-point favorite at home with a total of 42.5. Tito, I think we dodged a bullet last week with the Saints losing that game. How do you see this one on Sunday?
I'm staying the hell away from this dumpster fire of a game. Both of these teams are absolute frauds, so get me out of here. I'm gonna pass over to Mr. Sharp with some analysis. Maybe he's got some plays that I can tail and maybe make some cash on this terrible matchup.
A lot of cash on Miami coming in early. 5.5 is a key number for Mr. Sharp. I like them 2.5 games. I like the 5.5 games. Usually I fade those numbers and I take the plus points. A couple of weeks ago, I was riding on Miami in the survivor pool. There's 1,000 people in it, winner take all. I'm still in this thing. There's 50 people left. And so they won 16-13. Last week was a little easier. I was on the Niners to beat Carolina. I think Miami's going to maybe get this done, but I wouldn't bet this thing unless I took New Orleans. I still don't believe in Miami's defense. But, yeah, if Miami wins, they're in the playoff hunt here. And Tito called that on the preseason. He said division winner, but I don't know, man. This defense is still pretty bad.
I mean, last 3 games, or last 3 wins, I should say. They had a loss in there. I think this was Lamar's first game back when Lamar was actually healthy, and then he got banged up again. The Ravens looked good and beat up on the Dolphins defense, but the last 3 wins for the Dolphins, they gave up just 10 points to the Falcons, 13 to the Bills, and 13 to the Commanders. I guess that was the game you survived, the Madrid game.
Yeah.
That was such a terrible game.
I was sweaty.
Yeah, I bet. And just, I lean Miami because the defense is playing better over a pretty decent stretch right now. And the Saints, they've cracked 20 points just twice all season. I know they made the quarterback change to Tyler Shuck, but that was 4 games ago. The Saints in those 4 games have scored 3, 10, 17, and 10 points. So I just think the Dolphins, it's just the math of it. I think if the Dolphins get to 20, they're probably going to cover. Yeah. So I think the Dolphins win this game by about 7. I don't think I'm going to bet this one either, but I want to give my opinion in every game. It's a lean on Miami. Next game, worst one of the week, I think. Falcons at Jets. Falcons a 2.5 point favorite with a 39.5 total. This game sucks. I got nothing except a small lean on the Jets because I've learned from Mr. Sharp the Falcons are favored by 2.5, and when in doubt, take the dog in that situation. Or are you going the other way here and you're going to go on Atlanta?
I'm not going to bet it either. But if I had to rooting interest, come on, Kirk Cousins. If they win this game, they're 5-7. Here comes Atlanta. Michael Penix.
You like that?
You like that, Daddy? Michael Penix Jr., another ACL tear. I don't know. I think this is his 3rd one now, so he's probably going to never be the same guy. Can the Falcons rally around Kirk Cousins? I don't know. I'm sure there's going to be bad weather, and it looks like bad weather's coming up northeast all weekend. So I'm going to stay away. I'm kind of agree with you. Small lean on taking the points with the Jets.
Tito?
Yeah, I like the Jets in this matchup. Drake London's out again this week, so Michael Penix is being out. So definitely take the Jets.
Tito, how about the Jags at the Titans? Jags under a touchdown, -6.5. That makes me nervous. I feel like the books are begging you to take Jacksonville there. Total is 41.5. You want the Titans to win a game, though, Tito, for your New Orleans bet.
Oh,
so you think they got a shot to get it done on Sunday?
I don't. I'm begging. Come on, Jacksonville, I need you to lay an egg here. Come on, Tennessee. Come on. I don't even forget the guy's name. Who was the number one pick?
Cam Ward.
Cam Ward. What a big fraud that guy is. How about you throw a damn touchdown pass for once in your life, Cam Ward? So I'm begging you to get another W so that New Orleans is the worst team in the NFL.
Tito, week 17, New Orleans versus Titans. It's going to come down to that. Who's going to have the worst record?
Is it really? I did not know that.
Yes, week 17.
Oh, I can't. Tito, it probably is going to come down to that. That'd be incredible.
Probably will. Yeah.
We might have to travel down for that one.
We get tickets really cheap, I'm sure.
I bet we could.
For our $50 bet.
Yes. Wonderful.
That's what we call it ROI season, right? This is the game I would parlay or tease with the Eagles, like whatever gives you better odds, take that. The Titans are actually showing some fight lately. You notice I've stopped talking about that are against the spread numbers over the last 40 games or whatever it is, because they've been pretty deep. I think they're like 4-6 this season against the number. So they're showing some fight. But that's why I like this game for a money line parlay or a teaser, because they've still only won one game all season. And that's because the Arizona Cardinals made 2 of the most ridiculous plays I've ever seen on a football field in that game. So I don't go crazy here, just like standard sized play. The Titans, they're going to win another game at some point. Like, this is the NFL. They're probably going to win another game at some point. But Liam Cohen's got these guys believing in Jacksonville. So I think this would be a good game. It might be square, but Jags and Eagles, I think that's a good way to go. What do you think, Shawn?
I like that. I don't like the number here either. It's fishy. We'll see if it gets pushed up to 7.5 before kickoff. But I think that Week 17 game is going to come down to who gets the number 1 pick.
Oh, my God.
Or the Jets. I mean, Woody Johnson, he's, my God, the Jets. What are they doing?
God.
That's why we need the Jets to win this week too, Daddy. Come on, Jets. Take care of business.
You signed Justin Fields, and he's already benching him. This guy is just a terrible owner. He's worse than Jerry Jones. This is disgusting.
Yeah. It is the second to last game of the year. Saints at Titans. Because in week 18, maybe I misheard you.
Baby, we're going to get that win.
Yeah, week 18, it's all divisional matchups. I love that the NFL does it like that. I think that's pretty cool. The next game, Minnesota at Seattle. Seahawks minus 11.5. Totals 41.5. I'm not scared of the big number. I think the Seahawks win by like $1 billion here. This is revenge game for Sam Darnold. They're going to be facing a Minnesota team that's quarterbacked by either J.J. McCarthy or some guy named Max Brosmer. And honestly, like, I don't know which one is worse. Because, like, Tito, like, we were so wrong on J.J. McCarthy. This guy is terrible. So I just think the Vikings, this is dead team walking. I think the wheels just fall off here. And like the Seahawks, 2 weeks ago, they lose to the Rams. Tough game. They dicked around with the Titans last week, but they do get the win. They get to come back home now. I just think this is where they get refocused and just absolutely destroy the Vikings here. Like, I think this is a good game. I picked one out a couple weeks ago when the Lions played the Commanders. I said that's a good game to climb the ladder and bet the Lions at some alt spreads. Ended up cashing on that. I think this is another good game for that. Take some alt spreads on Seattle. I love the Seahawks here. I think this can be one of those games. It's the 3:00 slate. Yeah. And that's going to be the shit game that Red Zone never goes to because it's 30-0.
Man, we're spot on. You know, I talked about that survivor pool, and I still have Seattle in my back pocket, and I'm burning them this week, baby. J.J. McCarthy's a fraud. I told you guys he was a fraud. I knew he was a fraud. He's not ready for the NFL. I'm not sure he's ever going to be ready for the NFL. This is a smash spot for Seattle. If they lose, I'll come on the show and do whatever the heck you want me to do. There's no way. This is a good team here. I totally agree with you, Eric, on the alt spread here. I could see this thing getting out of hand and Seattle blowing them out 30, 40-point game here.
Yep. Yeah, we got to get this bet in pocket. We got to figure out the best way to approach it. Tito, you got some ideas in your head there of what you want Mr. Sharp to do if the Vikings win this one?
The mind is percolating. It's really, really late, so my mind's not firing on all cylinders at this point. So give me another week or so, and if I can be at the show next week, I have a lot of ideas if Minnesota can take care of business against the Seahawks. And I'll tell you right now, I was scared of the big number last week, and Easy E and his fucking numbers with Detroit convinced me to go the other way with the big number. Like, oh yeah, Dan Campbell and Detroit, they'll take care of business. They'll win by double-digit points. Well, I guess I'm gonna take the points again. I'm gonna lay the points and realize that the NFL won't do that back-to-back weeks for me. And Seattle is a juggernaut of an offense, and J.J. McCarthy is a fraud. So Tito was gonna say this. Mr. Sharp guy was convincing Tito before he came on the show that J.J. McCarthy was not a fraud. That's why I said what I said earlier in the year, folks. It wasn't because Tito thought it. It was because Mr. Sharp told me to say it. So I'm gonna go with Seattle in this matchup and lay the point.
Yeah, Tito, last week I had a parlay, a $200 parlay, and I had the Lions money line and Kansas City money line and the Cowboys, and somehow they all won.
Son of a
At one point, I was losing every game, and I came back and won them all. I mean, that's what gambling's about. Sometimes you just are on a hot streak. So I can finally get over that brutal Rams loss I had against the Eagles and that block kick. That one's been eating me all year. So last week was a good week.
Yeah, Mr. Sharp was living right with those. That was some exciting football Sunday afternoon. I was ice skating with my wife and daughter. We had a good time. I've spent a lot of time indoors lately. There's a lot of good sports on this time of year. I said, I need a Sunday where I'm out with the family. Yeah. So we went ice skating at Queenie Park here in West County. It was awesome. It was good to see the kid out there having a good time. Like it was.
Why do you hate Forest Park? Why can't you go out to the outdoor rink in Forest Park?
They tore it down. They're redoing that area.
Shut up. Like, are you serious right now?
I'm serious. I like to walk there about once a week. I did my lap around Forest Park, and they are building some nice stuff there. Yeah. So it's going to come back, I think, next year, but it is closed.
Is it going to be a little fancier, a little bit better than now? I mean, it was pretty awesome the way it was.
They're building some kind of like boardwalk down by the little pond there, in that part of Forest Parks. There's a lot. It's construction. It's a construction zone right now, but it's nice. I love me some Forest Park.
Yeah, we're kind of on the opposite trend. I'm finally now starting to settle in and get my sports fix in because for about 6 weeks in the NFL, I wasn't watching any ball. I was so busy. And now Sundays are for the couch. And I thought last weekend was the best slate of football I watched all season.
Let's give the shit game to Tito with the Raiders at the Chargers. I guess one of those teams is shit. This Chargers are down to 9.5 now, minus 9.5 for LA at home. Totals 40.5. Tito, what do you think?
Man, have the wheels fallen off with the Chargers? Everyone was talking about could they be Super Bowl contenders a couple weeks into the season with Justin Herbert, where this guy's an absolute fraud, and Jimmy Harbaugh, he's an absolute fraud too. The Harbaugh family's a bunch of frauds. So I don't like the Las Vegas Raiders. They're a bunch of frauds as well. So this is a big fraud game for Tito. I don't like the number. I'm staying the hell away from the number. What a big wolf.
Shawn, what do you think
Amari and Hampton, I guess, is getting healthy. He might be coming back in a few weeks. So that's the only good hope for the Chargers.
Shawn, I'm curious what you think about this spot, because the Chargers had been playing better. They had won 3 in a row. And then, Tito, you're right. They absolutely laid a humongous egg at Jacksonville, 35-6 2 weeks ago. Then they get a bye, and they stew on that for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And then you play the Raiders. So I'm curious how you handicap this one.
Yeah, we kind of like this one in the money line. I could see a Seattle Chargers. You can put them in a little money line with a couple other bets that you like. I don't want to lay the number here because I was not on the Justin Herbert train. I've talked about this guy a lot. He folds under pressure. When the season gets going, this guy's just kind of a 500 quarterback. Throws one of the best footballs I've ever seen, but when it comes down to it, the guy just doesn't win football games late in the year. So they're going to beat the Raiders. I don't see the Raiders winning this game either, but I don't like the number here at 10.
Yeah, minus 535 on the money line for the Chargers. So, yeah, you're going to have to – and Seahawks are minus 750. So, you're going to have to parlay quite a few teams to get a decent price on that one. It's another lean on the under for me. Both teams profitable to the under this season. This Chargers defense quietly pretty damn good. They're 10th in the NFL in points allowed per game. They're 8th in yards per play allowed. And these two teams met back in September. Final score is 20-9. I just feel like this could be a similar game. Raiders got nothing offensively. Like Genty, I think, could be a player on the right team, but he's getting hit in the backfield like immediately every time he gets a ball.
I'm not sure he's even going to suit up.
Oh, that's right. He is banged up as well. So, yeah, the Chargers, I just think they grind this thing out.
Yeah.
We get an under here. Hey, look, he's in the chat. The Godson, howdy, fathers. He says he is he had some Thanksgiving festivities tonight. I know.
He's a little younger, so he was out with all the skanks on Thanksgiving, rubbing them up, dancing with them. Yeah,
wow.
Thanksgiving.
He's deep in the vortex. Oh, my.
Vortex and butthole, Godson. Woo!
Oh, my goodness. Well, the Godson, if he's got any bets, fire him in the chat. Happy to talk about him. I got to let Mr. Sharp get started in the next game with Buffalo at Pittsburgh. This is probably the feature game of the 3:00 slate with Buffalo a 3.5-point road favorite. Total's 46.5. It looks like Aaron Rodgers did not practice today. It still says he's expected to play on Sunday. They think he's going to get back on the field tomorrow. I guess we got to wait for sure. With what the situation is. But how do you break this one down?
If Rodgers plays, I like the Steelers here. This Buffalo Bills offense is broken. They're kind of just letting Josh Allen run around and try to make magic happen. They have no creativity on offense at all. That last game I watched, it was so disgustingly boring. Like Josh Allen runs around and he is Superman, but he can't do it all, right? It's a team game. So I think this guy's going to struggle with no running game, no passing game really. It's just him running around. Maybe like the under here, but these are two bad defenses. We'll see what the weather looks like. Will Aaron Rodgers be banged up too with the left wrist broken? So maybe the under here, maybe both teams try to slow things down a little bit. But I would take the home dog here in the 3.5 for sure if I'm going to bet it.
This is the Mike Tomlin rah-rah spot. Coming off a loss, short underdog at home. Give me the Steelers. Like the Bills, You're right. Something's off. There's certain days they can put it together.
Right.
They have some big games. Remember, they beat the hell out of the Panthers in Carolina. So they could always, at any game, I feel like they could come out and put it on some team. But the consistency.
Yeah, in that Panthers game, though, a young defense, Josh Allen makes things happen. They break containment. He hits them for a splash play. I don't see that happening with a veteran defense with Steelers.
Yeah, and that was still one of Buffalo's only 2 wins on the road this season. They're 2-3 away from home. I think the Steelers are going to win this game outright, but I'll take the points. I like the number at plus 3.5. Tito, I think you want to bet the Bills, don't you?
I mean, where have I heard Mike Tomlin and Robert? I mean, that's the second week in a row that you've said the same fucking thing over and over again.
And I was wrong.
And what did Mike Tomlin do last week? He lost the game. So what a big whoop. You guys were all poo-pooing the Buffalo Bills and Josh Allen. What a big woof, okay? This is when they get their mind right. I don't give a crap about Aaron Rodgers going into the darkness and having a broken ankle or broken wrist, whatever it might be. What a big woof. The Buffalo Bills are just fine. They're going to get themselves right this weekend. And I like the over in this play. And give me the Bills, Daddy.
Hey, Tito, guess who's number 5th in passing touchdowns in the league?
Probably Aaron Rodgers because he's been in the darkness.
He missed the game. I mean, this guy is incredible at 41.
The Godson in the chat says the play of the night cash. We love hockey, man. Yeah, the Godson's in the Action Network app at Ty_Bird. Ty Bird. He was on over 6.5 Canucks and Ducks.
I got a question here for Ty. So, Ty, with these overs, do you typically like to wait a little bit later in the year? Do you think they cash more when teams are a little more gassed from all the ice time throughout the year?
All right, let's see what the Godson has to say. Yeah, it's the hockey math. 3 + 3 = 7. It was 3-3 at the end of the second period, so the Godson cashed that one. That's a great play. I know with the hockey overs, I'm usually looking at recent form, overall season stats, and their head-to-head. And just right now, like the Blues were on a stretch where they had been profitable with the over, but then they got on a run. They've cashed like 3 unders in a row, and it's like I don't want to bet the over right now, and that's come to fruition where they just keep cashing unders, and every game ends 3-2. So, yeah, we love the hockey.
I was just wondering, early in the NFL season, I like to bet some unders. Defenses are fresh, they haven't been banged up, and hockey's a physical sport too. And you would think after a few months, the boys are worn down a little bit, and there's some goals getting leaked in.
Sunday Night Football, Tito, Denver at Washington. How do we get stuck with this game on Sunday Night Football? They couldn't flex that out? Oh, I don't like that. Denver -5.5, totals 43.5.
Well, when you got 3 awesome games on Thanksgiving, what are you supposed to flex into this Sunday night matchup? I'll tell you that right now. What a big woof. If Aaron Rodgers doesn't play, it's a big woof of a game too. So What a big woof. No, I don't really give a crap about this game. But I hate both these teams. Jaden Daniels always gets fucking hurt. This guy, what's his name? Dan Quinn. He wears his fucking hat backwards like Tito. What a big woof this is. So I'm staying the hell away from this game. Sean Payton can go deflate gate or bounty gate somebody other team. So what a big whoop. Staying away.
Yeah, 6 losses in a row for the Commanders. Is Daniels going to play? I haven't heard anything.
No, not till next week, most likely.
So this is another team that I have still left is the Denver Broncos in that survivor pool. I'm probably going to go with Seattle. Part of me wants to go with Denver, but it's what's going on here with this 5.5 spread, right? This seems a little off. I think it should be more like 7.5. I don't know, man. This is a tough game because what's Vegas doing here with this number? And 76% of the money's on Denver already. It seems like this line you should just bet it, right? But I guess maybe Vegas is thinking Denver just kind of lets teams hang around and they win late. I think Denver gets it done, and Washington's just kind of falling apart. And the NFL's crazy, man. Washington was the story of the year last year, went to the NFC Championship game, and Mr. Sharp did say he wanted to fade them this year, didn't believe in their defense, didn't believe in Jaden Daniels yet. I think he will get there. Dan Campbell messed up, or not Dan Campbell, Dan Quinn messed up, leaving him in, getting him hurt in that game. But they're probably going to tank and try to get a higher draft pick and build for next year.
Yeah, it started in the preseason with the McLaurin drama and just never could really get on track. Everyone was all beat up all year. Yeah, it was just kind of the
and you're running Austin Eckler out there, and Bill and these other running backs. They have no running game, so hey, we'll take Denver maybe in the money line with the other 2 big favorites.
Yeah, Denver -265 on the money line. That's an appealing parlay piece. Under's been a theme for me this week. I think this is another good spot for one here. I want to fade Bo Nix, but I'm tired of doing it when the Broncos just keep winning these damn close games. So I think a good way to fade him is to take the under. The under's 8-3 in Broncos games this season. And if Mariota starts, like it almost certainly he's going to, I don't see them doing much of anything against, this Denver defense that is awesome. And just sometimes I look at things with math like this. Broncos games this season have an average of 40.9 points per game. 40.9 points per game. They're playing a below average offense, I think that we would, agree on. And the total is 43.5. I feel like that's a couple points too high. This number should be more like 41.
Yeah.
So, and those are key numbers once you kind of get towards the mid 40s there. So
the only thing that scares me is a Denver defensive touchdown against the Washington offense.
That could blow up and under real fast.
Denver gets they get Vegas next week after this, and I got a future in on Denver to win the division. It looks pretty good.
Yeah, that's almost certainly going to cash unless the Chargers get crazy hot here. The Godson says he's got to bounce, but his best bet for later, Pep and the boys bounce back. That's Manchester City, Tito. -1.5 against Leeds on Saturday. I missed out on Man City. I had them in a nice bet yesterday, Shawn. I know you tailed me on that. In the Champions League, everything looks good. This is a team that they should handle pretty easily. The lineups come out an hour before kick. 9 starters are being rested. So Pep's playing the B team. Man City loses, I believe, 2-0. They better. I actually considered this for my best bet, actually. Man City -1.5 for Man City over team total. So I'm going to be with the Godson on that one. My best bet actually comes from the next game. And this is Monday Night Football, December 1st. The very first NFL game that we can bet on legally here in Missouri. So we got to have some action for this one. I'm like, I don't want to just have a lean on this. This is probably a game you're going to get these bonus offers, $300 of bonus bets from DraftKings if you use that code STL Sports. I think that it comes in the form of like 12 $25 bets that you can use in 7 days. I think this is a good one. I'm not just using this as like a best bet because, it's the first game in gamble. I actually really like this play. I guess first I'll just set it up. With the Patriots, they're 7.5 point favorite, and the total is 46.5. I thought the odds were going to be higher on this. So my favorite play for this game, my best bet for the week, Travion Henderson, anytime touchdown scorer at -115 on DraftKings. So the Giants have given up 17 rushing touchdowns this season. That is tied with the Bills for the most in the NFL. And Henderson is now the man for the Patriots in the backfield. Ramondre Stevenson, he was back from injury last week, but Henderson still outcarried him 18-6. And Stevenson had a total of just 5 yards on those 6 carries. So it is undoubtedly Travion time. Didn't score last week, but he still has 5 touchdowns over his last 3 games. So I thought this is when I went to pull this up because I'm like, I want to see what the touchdown odds were. I was thinking Travion was going to be at least -150. I was thinking more like -175. I see -115. So I think he gets in the end zone. We cash this thing. My best bet, Travion Henderson, anytime touchdown score, -115 on DraftKings. This is like the first time you ever go to the casino. You got to win because then they get you hooked, right?
Yeah.
Like this is the way this has to work. So Shawn, I'll let you go next on this game. And if you have your best bet ready for the week, feel free to give it now.
Yeah, I kind of like New England here in the number. The public is all over the Giants after last week in that game where they had some razzle-dazzle plays. But it looks like 78% of the money is on the Giants already. I know they fired their defensive coordinator, so we'll see what happens with the defense. But, I like New England here in the -7.5. I think Vegas this weekend, I think Thursday, 2 out of 3 favorites win. They suck in the public with the underdogs. And then I think Sunday is going to be a chalky Sunday, and especially Sunday night, Monday. I think we see some favorites cover, and everybody loses their cash. And then we go into next week. This is what Vegas likes to do. But I do like where you're at there, Eric. Maybe we parlay that with a couple of the big teams we like on those, Seattle and some other teams. Mr. Sharp's best bet is going to be Kansas City Chiefs -3. I wouldn't take it at 3.5. I think we still said 3 is good. That picture of his wife and saying we are going to feast, I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't have done that. It's not a good idea. And I'm taking Kansas City -3.
All right, best bets in for
I don't
Mr.
know if you
Sharp.
got the reference there.
No, I got it. I think
We
Tito got it
We
too.
all got it, Daddy.
Wouldn't have done that.
Tito, you got a thought on this very first game in the NFL that we can bet on here in Missouri? And then feel free to give us your best bet as well.
Yeah, I think Tito's gonna make his first legitimate bet for Missouri, and I'm gonna take fucking Mike Vrabel and the New England Patriots and Drake Bay and lay the 7.5 points and gotta get a little bit of money there. I know there's a little bit of juice, but I like the Patriots and Jameis Winston. He's not gonna have anything to do with Mike Vrabel's defense in New England. But for my best bet, and NFL related, folks, I'm going back to the college basketball slate. Everyone knows how big of a fan Duke Blue Devils I am, and fucking with Cameron Boozer, Carlos's Boozer's legitimate younger son. This guy's an absolute beast. They're going up against Arkansas, I think tomorrow night, maybe the night after that. But Duke is 6-1 against the spread, and they're also and Arkansas, or they're 1-6 with the over under. So I like the underplay in this matchup with the Duke versus Arkansas. I see that as a 157.5. And so I'm going to go with that as my best bet. Duke, Arkansas going under 157.5.
Yeah,
I saw a stat about this Boozer. The first player in like 50 years to score points and have these rebounds. I just caught the very back end of it. This guy is incredible. Is he going to be the number 1 player drafted?
Of course. That's what Duke does. All Duke does is is recruit the number 1 draft picks in NBA. So Cameron Boozer is probably the consensus number 1 player coming out after this season.
Wow. I mean, incredible.
I think it's a sharp play, Tito. I just pulled up on the Action Network. Yeah, Duke, the under is 6-1 in their games. Arkansas, the under is 4-2 in their games. Duke's defense is nasty. They get after you. That was my first bet of the year. I cashed when Duke played KU and bet the under in that one. It's a little sweaty, but it got home.
I was all with you. That was very sweaty.
Yeah. Tito, I think I'm going to join you on this one tomorrow. No doubt.
All right.
I'll be locked in on the Billikens during that time. It's a 7:00 tip. How about that? 7:00 on CBS. Thursday night.
Thanksgiving night, baby.
Mr. Sharp's going to have a few cocktails tomorrow. We're going to be on the NFL at noon. We're going to have a great day of gambling. And, just between us, like I said, I'm up about 5 G's this year. So I got 1 month to go. I'm going to gamble a little bit here in December, and we're going to try to maybe make this into $7,000. If not, we'll take a $1,500 profit and call it a year.
You do like to gamble late in the year. You like to just kind of use that house money and go for it. I do want to make sure I mention this before we go on like a serious note, because like this is a very exciting time for sports fans and sports gamblers in Missouri, that we're just 5 days away from this thing going live. So get signed up with DraftKings. Take advantage of the bonus offer with the code STL Sports to get a head start on building your bankroll. But guys, please bet responsibly. Of course, we all want to win money. But at the end of the day, I think I mentioned earlier, this is all about entertainment, having fun. Like, look at this like entertainment money like you would spend going out to eat or going out to on Skanksgiving and having a good time. To just never bet above your means. Like, find a unit size that works for you, where you're excited if you win, but it doesn't wreck your day or impact you financially if you lose. And like, for the love of God, like, do not chase your losses. Like, don't start drinking and start chasing. Tomorrow's always another day. So for real, guys, like, we want to help you as you all kind of go through this process of having, and it's us too. We're going to have so much action available at our fingertips at all times with all these different markets. So just come back and see us every Wednesday night. We're going to be here on the STL Sports Central YouTube channel. Again, we're talking sports betting, also covering those hometown teams from a gambling perspective. You can also follow us on X and interact with us there. You can see our handles on the screen here underneath our names. And another great thing to do, guys, remember, just get signed up with that free Action Network app. Track your own plays so you know how you're doing. That is critical when you're betting on sports. You can also follow Shawn and me on the Action Network app, where every single bet we make is tracked and transparent. It's free for anyone to see. You get notifications instantly anytime we make a bet, and we can help you cash. This is not bullshit. Shawn's been on there since June. Again, he's up over $3,500
Well, one thing for everybody watching, when Eric's talking about these unit size, a few years ago, I decided I'm going to start a bankroll I put $500 in it, and I was betting $25 and $50, and I did that for about 2 years, and then I increased my units, and I increased. That's why I bet larger units now. So Eric is spot on when he's saying, don't throw $1,000 on the Kansas City Chiefs tomorrow because you think they're going to win, and you lose your whole bankroll. It's absolutely what we don't want to do. And if you did win that, you wouldn't want to throw $1,000 on the next game and go double or nothing. If you got a bankroll of 500 or 200 or 50, bet $5, bet whatever you need to, and track your bets. Try to go 55 to 60% for 12 months, and then raise your units. That's how this works. That's how you're going to win long term.
Rule of thumb that I have read about, it's a great point. A rule of thumb I've read about over time. Have that bankroll set. I have this amount of money I want to dedicate to sports gambling. A play that you love that is like your best bet type play. It should be like 5% of your bankroll.
Correct.
So if your bankroll is $500, let's say, 5% of that is $25. So I think $25 should be like kind of a max bet if your bankroll's 500. Probably a regular play about 2% of your bankroll. And again, the plays you like the best, probably around 5% of your bankroll. This stuff.
Yeah, and
gotta be
I actually
careful.
have a guy, O'Day. He follows me. He's a coach with me in football and basketball. That's what he bets. He bets $13, $12, $13 or 25 on a big play. He threw $500 into his account, and that's what he's just. It's kind of like an investment. You're investing $500 into yourself, and you're gambling. So that's great. That's spot on, Eric. And listen, just don't lose all your money. Just don't do it. Just put a bankroll in, and that's it. $500. Start with that, or even 50. Even like if Tito, you want to throw $25 in, bet $1 or $2 for 6 months. Build that bankroll, Daddy.
Yeah, and you would hate to lose it, and then you're done. Where you're like, well, I don't want to stop betting. I want to keep going. That's why, just start small. Take advantage of these bonus offers. Like I said, it's a great way to build your bankroll. Tito, you got anything to add on all this? I know this is, something that we've talked about, that it's coming and it's just about here. And so people, they got to be aware of this stuff.
Yeah, you got to be wary of this stuff. And you remember, this is all entertainment. Don't bet out of your means like Eric and Shawn have been saying, folks. And, for me, if I lose $5, it kind of wrecks my day. So $5 is the most max bet that I'll ever do. But Shawn's right. Have a bankroll, put something in there, put $25 in there, take advantage of these, these free money that they're going to be offering you guys in regards to like $300, free plays, things like that. So if you hit on a few of those plays over the next week, then guess what? You have some money to play with over the next 6 or 7 months. So take advantage of those and 6-7, right? Yeah. So, watch us, support the sponsors, support DraftKings, support James Carlton, get your entertainment from us, and let's cash some tickets and follow Eric and Shawn. I'm going to get on the Action Network here in the next several days too. So I'll get on that. You can see some of my plays as I get in there. So let's just get that done and enjoy yourself. It's all about having fun, folks. So don't bet out of your means and take advantage of this free money that DraftKings and the other sports betting sites are going to be offering.
I know we started this podcast many moons ago, 3 years ago, and we were hoping gambling would have been legal then, and we're finally here, boys. We're finally made it.
Finally.
Oh, man, I cannot wait for this. So, it's well said, Tito. So, looking forward to seeing you on the Action Network app. Again, Shawn's at Mr. Sharp, $44.99, up over $3,500. I'm at esontag, up over 26 units over the last year. So, guys, we can help you cash and also just show you proper bankroll management, too, and the right way to do this.
There's a lot of times I throw $25 on a game,
Yeah.
We throw $200-$300 here and there, but a lot of my bets are $25-$50.
Yeah. So just start small, dive in. I remember when I first joined social media, when I got like Facebook for the first time, and I was late to it. It was like 2010, and I was looking at all these things, and I could feel the dopamine in my brain of just how much information I was taking. All these people I haven't seen in years, and you're reading all this stuff. That's what sports gambling is going to be like for a lot of people. You're like, oh my God, not only can I just bet on who I think is going to win, cover the spread, or what the total is going to be, I can bet all these props.
Well,
And
now they give you the props at the bottom, the show me prop, the Chiefs
Yeah.
and the Blues and NFL props, and it's all there. And you just hit a button and it's 10 teams already picked for you. So you got to be selective too. Don't fall into those traps.
Yep. So yeah, come back and see us every single Wednesday. We'll be here going through this whole process with you guys. I cannot wait for this. It's going to be awesome coming up on Monday. So a reminder to hit the like button, subscribe to the STL Sports Central YouTube channel. And like Tito said, support the advertisers. Again, it's not just an advertisement. This is a true recommendation. Just take 2 or 3 minutes this weekend. Get a quote from James Carlton with State Farm Insurance. Again, I've had an extra $800 in my pocket this year because I made the switch to James for my home and auto policies. I didn't mention it yet, but I got my renewal notices this week. I'm paying even less this year for my home and auto. I'm getting even more of a discount. So it's not like they're jacking up the rate because they got me, as a customer. I'm going to be paying even less in 2026 than I did in 2025. So see what he can do for you. James Carlton's phone number 314-961-4800 or online at carltoninsurance.net. For Shawn Surwillo, for Tito Ulrich, I am Eric Sontag. This has been Domesticated Gamblers here on STL Sports Central, presented by DraftKings. The crown is yours. Thanks for watching, guys. Happy Thanksgiving. We will see you next Wednesday.
Happy Skanksgiving.